What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Front Yard Fantasy Hour presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, John Luke. What's up, JL?
What up?
Guys, and today we have a full FYF, Front Yard Fantasy Hour. It's all FYF on the show today. We've got J-Wall and Joey making their debut on the Front Yard Fantasy Hour tonight. What's up, guys?
Hello.
How's it going?
You guys ready?
Good. Oh, yeah. I'm so excited.
Guys, today we are playing some Fantasy Fortune. It is my favorite game and my favorite game to host because I get to come up with all these puzzles. You guys are going to be responsible for trying to solve them. Before we do that, though, a couple reminders for everybody watching. Number one, if you're watching this, that means you're already on the FanDuel YouTube or Twitch channels. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and like this video and make sure you're subscribed to FanDuel on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. And then go find FanDuel on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. They're at FanDuel on all of those platforms. They have a whole team of awesome content creators helping you guys win your leagues and win some money. And it's not just football. They got people across all the sports as football is coming to an end. So make sure you guys are following them across all of those social platforms. And then while you're on YouTube, if you enjoy what we're doing here, we are Front Yard Fantasy, and you can find us on YouTube at Front Yard Fantasy. We're live every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, playing games. That's all we do over there. So make sure you guys subscribe to our channel and come hang out with us in the afternoon. Take a lunch break from noon to 4 and hang out with us for a little bit. We got Sully in the chat saying, look at this group. Excited to have you here, Sully.
My man.
Handsome everywhere.
Handsome everywhere.
And Mr. Scamper said, solid chime spray in the intro music. Yeah, the chime spray is a staple of the Front Yard Fantasy brand right there. And Sully saying, what is up? We're glad to have you here, Sully. Sam, welcome in. Glad to have you here. And Jay said, I'm happy with the ratio of J to S names on this show. I'm not. There's too many J names. Our guest for today was supposed to be our friend Jorge Martin, but something came up. So that was another J that was going to be on here, though. So we might as well call it 4 J's and 1 S. Guys, are you ready for some Fantasy Fortune?
Ready.
Absolutely.
I think we go ahead and go in. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this first puzzle for you guys. I predetermined the order before the show started. The order we're going to be playing in is JL, Joey, then J-Wall. How this game works, for those of you who have not played with us before, or for the people on the show who may have forgotten, this is Fantasy Fortune. It is just like the popular show Wheel of Fortune, except we are going to be answering 50-50 NFL or fantasy trivia questions in order to guess a letter. If you get your question right, you'll have the opportunity to guess a consonant to put on the board. Every consonant that appears will give you $500. You can buy a vowel during your turn at any time, except after a question's been asked, and vowels will cost $100 per each instance of it showing up on the board. You will get 3 questions. If you get 3 in a row right and a letter right, you'll have 5 seconds to solve the puzzle, but all that money is going to be banked, and we will move on to the next person. We'll keep going like this until we run out of time. The person with the most money at the end of our show is the Fantasy Fortune champion for today.
Let's go. It's going to be me.
I've already won a game today. I'm on a streak, a 1-game winning streak.
I guess I'm obligated to say, hey, J-Wall, you ready to lose?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Last time I was on here, Josh whooped my butt. So
Maria in here said, if you had to pick a new name with a J, Simon, not Jaimin, what would it be? Yeah, I would take after my father. I would take my father's name, and my name would be Ioannis, Joannes. That's the name I would pick. That's a J name. That counts, right?
Sure. It's a weird J name, but yeah.
We'll keep it in the family. And Mr. Scamper said, I love Jaimin. Yeah, Jaimin's obviously my first choice, and then Ioannis. Okay, guys, there is no toss-up puzzle for today. We are just going to jump straight into this first puzzle. So let me go ahead and pull that up here. And as usual, we are starting with an NFL player.
Can I explain the rules first?
I already went through all the rules, JL. Were you not?
You just went through them all?
I went through every rule. Right. I explained the rules of the game.
All right. Don't
I
yell
also
at me.
Mentioned, I did the call to action as well. Everything's good, JL. I haven't forgotten anything yet except for your name.
Good. I'm going to enjoy my super hard questions now.
Okay, JL, are you ready for your first question, or would you like to solve?
I am. Nope.
So my question for you is, who had more fantasy points, PPR fantasy points in 2021? Was it Derek Carr or was it Mark Andrews?
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews is correct with 30 more fantasy points than Derek Carr on the season, just about. Which letter would you like, JL?
I'll take an S.
There is one SJL that's going to add $500 to your total. Would you like to buy a vowel or would you like another question?
Sure, I'll buy an O.
An O for JL. There are two O's. That's going to subtract 200 from your total right there. I forgot who this is. Oh, I remember.
I'll need another question.
Okay. And guys, one reminder, JL, I'm so sorry. I did forget one rule. Make sure you guys are out of the chat and in the private chat, out of the comments. I saw someone with a guess in there, not saying it's right or wrong, but just want to make sure you guys are over there in the private chat as well. JL, your next question is, who had more rushing yards in the 2021 regular season? Who had more rushing yards? Was it Melvin Gordon or was it Lamar Jackson?
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon's correct with 918 to Lamar Jackson 767. Which letter would you like?
I'll take an N. I'll take an N.
An N for JL. There are two N's. That's going to add another 1,000 to your total. JL, just a reminder, this is going to be your last question. So this is your last opportunity to buy a vowel. Would you like to buy a vowel, take another question, or do you want to solve?
I guess I'll take another question.
Another question for JL. Okay, my question for you, JL, is who had more receiving touchdowns on the season? Who had more receiving touchdowns? Was it Amari Cooper or was it Justin Jefferson?
This feels like a trap. Justin Jefferson.
It was Justin Jefferson with 10 to Amari Cooper's 8. You didn't fall for the double trap on that one, JL. Which letter would you like? And reminder, if you get this, you'll get to bank your points.
I don't know. I'll go with a oh, okay, I know it now. I'll go with a B.
Okay, that's going to add 1,000 to your total, JL, and you've got 5 seconds to solve.
Robbie Anderson.
Nice job, JL, on that one. You went wall to wall. What's the phrase? Is it wall to wall? Wire to wire?
Ask me this every time.
Table to table. You went table to wire, JL, on that first one.
I went farm to table with that one.
You went farm to table on the first question, getting it completely right. So I'll come to you first on this one. So we know the quarterback situation in Carolina was a little bit of a mess this year, and I'm not sure we see signs of it improving for next year. What kind of value does Robbie Anderson hold for you in this offense with DJ Moore kind of being the target hog there, at least of late?
Not much value. Not much value at all until we see what they're going to do. I mean, the offensive line was atrocious. Who knows who their quarterback is going to be next season? If they end up getting somebody else in the offseason, or if they keep trying to go with Sam Darnold, I don't know. But Robbie Anderson to me is one of those like lower value flex players going forward. Very, very low.
J-Wall, what about you? Do you agree with JL there? Do you have a slightly different take on Robbie Anderson?
Yeah, I mean, he's only had one real solid season. And outside of that, he's just never had a season where he gets enough targets to be relevant. So,
yeah, I tend to agree with you guys. We've seen flashes of that talent and of that speed and how he can be used in an offense, but I'm not sure this Carolina Panthers offense is the one to do it. Mr. Scampers in the chat got it before anybody on the show. Nice job, Mr. Scampers.
Well done.
And then said the destroyer of my soul this year. Yeah, Robbie Anderson destroyed a couple souls this year, I think, out there on the field. Okay, guys, are you ready for our next puzzle? Joey, you're going to get to go first on this one. And this is an NFL player movie mashup for this puzzle. So a reminder, an example of one of these is like Boston Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Or JL, what was one that you did last week?
The Curious Case of Eno Benjamin Button.
There we go. That's another one. So it could be something along those lines. So guys, make sure you are back in the private chat. And Joey, would you like to solve or would you like a question?
I'd like a question.
Okay, Joey, my question for you is who had more PPR fantasy points in the 2021 season? Who had more PPR fantasy points? Was it Chris Godwin or was it Marquise Brown?
Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin is correct by over 20 points. Joey, which letter would you like?
I'd like a T, please, Alex.
A T, Alex. That'll add $1,000 to your total, Joey. Would you like to buy a vowel or would you like another question or can you solve?
How much are the vowels?
100 per each time it shows up.
Ooh, that's a lot. Give me another question.
Didn't you listen to the rules, Joey?
Yeah, Joey. Be like your friend JL and listen to the rules.
Yeah.
Who had more receiving yards in the 2021 season? Who had more receiving yards? Was it Terry McLaurin or was it Jacoby Myers?
F1. I'll go Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin is correct by almost 200 yards. Joey, which letter would you like?
R.
R for Joey. There are 4 R's. Okay. That's going to add 2,000 to your total. So, Joey, just a reminder, this is your last opportunity to buy a vowel. After this question, if you get it right and get a letter, you'll get 5 seconds to try to solve. Would you like to buy a vowel or do you want to go straight to the next question?
I want to buy an A.
You want to buy an A. There are 3 A's in this puzzle. So that'll subtract 300 from your total, Joey. What are you doing now? Buying another vowel, solving, or another question?
Yeah, let me buy an E.
An E. There are 3 E's as well in this. So we'll subtract another 300 from your total.
Oh.
No, don't.
Would you like another question? Would you like to buy another vowel?
I want another question.
Another question for Joey. Okay, Joey, my question for you is which team had more passing yards? Which team had more passing yards in the 2021 season? Was it the Bills or was it the Steelers?
The Bills.
The Bills are correct with 4,450 to the Steelers, 4,017. I was actually a little bit surprised to see how high they were. Joey, if you get this letter right, you will bank this money no matter what. Which letter would you like?
Give me an H so I can bank the money.
There is one H. So, Joey, that'll add 500 to your total. You get 5 seconds to try to solve this puzzle, and then I'm moving on to J-Wall.
Go ahead and move on to J-Wall. I mean, give me my 5.
We're going to move on to J-Wall.
I'm going to get it in 2 seconds. I'm going to get it as soon as...
You know it, J-Wall?
J-Wall, would you like to solve, or would you like a question?
For that, I would put pressure on Joey, but you got the answer right. So
you're awful. Do you want a question, J-Wall?
Oh, yeah. I have no idea. I guarantee I don't even know this movie. So,
okay, J-Wall, my question for you
is... Don't forget to bank Joey's money.
Thank you. Who had more fantasy points in the 2021 season? And this is PPR. All fantasy point questions are going to be, in the PPR format. So who had more PPR fantasy points in the 2021 season? Was it Daryl Williams or was it Mike Davis?
What an ugly question. I'm going to go with Mike Davis.
I'm sorry. Daryl Williams had 196 to Mike Davis's 138.2. J-Wall. So we are going to be moving on to JL on this one. JL, you sounded like maybe you knew the answer to this one.
I would like to solve, Alex. Rugrats and Paris Campbell, the movie.
You got it, JL. It is Rugrats and Paris Campbell, the movie. Nice job there. So that is going to add 1,000 to your bank, JL, bringing you to 3,300. Joey close behind with 2,900 and J-Wall at 0.
Looks like Jay got it in the chat.
Yeah, Jay got it before anybody here. So nice job, Jay. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take you guys to get that one. I was having a hard time gauging the difficulty there. Jay, well, have you in fact seen Rugrats in Paris, the movie?
No, my mom wouldn't let me watch Rugrats growing up. So,
oh my gosh, well, watch it now. Actually, I don't know if it holds up at all. It probably doesn't. So maybe don't watch Rugrats and Paris Campbell, the
movie. Did Doug ever get a movie?
Doug and like with the dog,
yeah, with Pork Chop the dog, and
it was what was his superhero name? What was Pork Chop's superhero name?
Quail Man. No, Quail Man was Doug.
No, but Pork Chop also wore like a little outfit whenever he became Quail Man. We are getting way off topic.
Sorry,
no. The Doug show is right after this, I think, where we talk exclusively about Doug for an hour.
It's just called Doug, not the Doug show.
It's just called Doug. You're right.
Get it right.
Sorry about that. Guys, we are going to go ahead and load up our next puzzle on this one. You guys are working through these quickly. Yeah. Your next category is things announcers say. So this is going to be something that you might hear an announcer say during a game. JL got that one right again.
Penetration doesn't fit, Simon. So I don't know what this could be.
Yeah, that's the only thing they say. Maybe when they're not on the clock. It's the thing they say second most besides penetration.
Here's a guy doesn't fit either.
Joey, do you want a question or would you like to solve?
I thought J-Wall was first.
Nope, because JL got that one correct. So you are going first, Joey.
I would like a question.
Okay, my question for you is true or false. The Los Angeles Rams are 5.5-point favorites over the San Francisco 49ers this weekend.
True.
I'm sorry, that is false. They are 3.5-point favorites this weekend. The Rams are only 3.5-point favorites against the San Francisco 49ers. So, J-Wall, we are moving on to you. Are you ready for your question?
Born ready.
Okay, true or false? The Kansas City Chiefs are 7.5-point favorites against the Cincinnati Bengals this weekend.
False.
I'm sorry, J-Wall. That is true. The Cincinnati Chiefs are 7.5-point favorites over the Cincinnati Bengals this weekend. The Cincinnati Chiefs over the Cincinnati Bengals. Everybody's from Cincinnati now. JL, are you ready for your question?
I'm ready.
Okay, JL, my question for you is, according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, who is more likely to be an anytime touchdown scorer in the Bengals-Chiefs game this weekend? So who is more likely to be an anytime touchdown scorer? Is it Travis Kelce or is it Joe Mixon?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce is the correct answer. You are on a roll today, JL. Which letter would you like?
I will take, I'll take an R.
An R.
Bonk.
Bonk. Sorry, JL, I jinxed you with that one. Joey, are you ready for your question?
I have never been more ready for anything in my entire life. Let's go.
Never been more ready for anything in your entire life.
Fatherhood?
No one's ever ready for fatherhood.
That's fair. That's fair.
I thought I was. I read the books, but
you listen to the podcasts?
I didn't listen to any.
That's probably why you weren't ready. It's the books and the podcast, I think, that get it done. But Joey, are you ready for your question?
Let's go.
Let's do it. My question for you, Joey, is who has more all-time passing yards? So this is an all-time passing yards question. Is it Drew Brees or is it Peyton Manning?
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees is correct with about 9,000 more passing yards than Peyton Manning in his career. Which letter would you like, Joey?
A T.
T for Joey. There is one T that is going to add 500 to your total. Would you like another question? Would you like to buy a vowel?
Let me buy an O.
An O for Joey. There are 3 O's, Joey. That's going to subtract 300 from your game bank. What would you like to do now?
Ooh.
Your options are solve or get a question. If it's less than 300, I won't. I'm not going to allow anyone to buy vowels. Okay, my question for you is, who was drafted first in 2021 according to Fantasy Data ADP? Who was drafted first?
Okay.
Was it A.J. Brown or was it CeeDee Lamb?
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown is correct. He was the 8th wide receiver off the board, whereas CeeDee Lamb was the 11th wide receiver off the board. Which letter would you like, Joey?
Give me an R.
R.
JL already guessed the R, and it wasn't there. He got ball.
An M.
Try again.
M. M is in mouse.
M is in mouse. There are 2 M's in this puzzle, Joey. That's going to add 1,000 to your total. So, Joey, a reminder, this is your last chance to buy a vowel. After this, I'll ask you to solve the puzzle if you get it right. Would you like to buy a vowel, or do you want another question?
I'll buy an A.
An A for Joey. 3 A's in this puzzle. That'll subtract 300 from your game bank. What would you like to do now, Joey? Do you want a question?
I would like a question. So I was looking at it.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, my question for you, Joey, is who had more passing yards on the season? Who had more passing yards? Was it Kyler Murray or was it Kirk Cousins?
Passing yards?
Yards.
I'm gonna say Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is correct with 4,221 to Kyler Murray's 3,787. Which letter would you like, Joey?
N.
There are 2 N's in this puzzle. That'll add 1,000 there. So, Joey, you're going to bank this money, but you get 5 seconds to try to solve.
I'll give you a hint, Joe. The first word's kimono.
We're going to move on to J-Wall, but I'm going to make sure to bank that money for you, Joey. Joey, you're making money just off the trivia right here.
Well,
that's all you got to do.
I just feel like someone needs to make a play,
Yeah.
Are you solving that puzzle?
Yeah,
J-Wall, would you like to solve? Would you like a question, or would you?
Someone needs to make a play.
J-Wall solves the puzzle, gets $1,000 on the board. Nice job, J-Wall. You threw me off there.
So long.
And Mr. Scampers in the chat came in right around the same time you did, J-Wall. So you guys were neck and neck on answering that one.
JR was before
killing it. Oh, I didn't even see JR's in there. Nice job, JR. Absolutely killed it. And Maria's saying, why do I keep seeing tomato?
I don't know.
You might want to get that checked out. Oh,
yeah, beat you to it.
Dang it. We hang out too much, JL. And Mr. Scamper saying, J-Wall. You did it, J-Wall. You're now on the board. So after 3 puzzles, J-Wall in third place with 1,000, JL in second with 3,300, and Joey with 4,800. And Daddy FanDuel in here saying someone needs to make a guess.
Somebody needs it.
Oh, wait.
I didn't know the puzzle, so I didn't get the joke whenever J-Wall said it.
I'm usually part of the chat, and now I look, and the chat is absolutely destroying me. All love.
It's tough when you're sitting here and the letters are coming up and the spotlight's on you and the fans are cheering behind you. It's tough. You know?
Simon's throwing trivia at you.
Jail's sexy voice is serenading you. Yeah, it just gets
sexy.
Oh, and Joey's the serenader.
Put the music on. I'll talk all through it. Let's go.
Guys, we are going to go ahead and pull up our next puzzle for the day. This one is fantasy football terms. So these are all fantasy football terms, things that you might say when talking about fantasy football, or some vocabulary that the fantasy football players need to know what it means, what it stands for. And J-Wall got that puzzle right, which means we are starting with JL.
Woo!
You ready, JL?
I'm ready.
Okay, JL, my question for you is, which team threw more interceptions this season? Was it the Jets or was it the Washington football team?
Jets.
The Jets is correct with 20 to the Washington football team's 15. Which letter would you like?
Take a T.
A T. Bonk again, JL. Only the bonks can stop you today, it seems like. Joey, would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I would like a question.
Okay, a question for you, Joey. My question for you is, who had more rushing yards in the 2021 regular season? Who had more rushing yards? Was it Devin Singletary or Elijah Mitchell?
Man, Singletary came on really strong in the end. Elijah Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell is correct with 963 to Singletary's 870. Which letter would you like?
I'll buy an S.
An S. There is one S, Joey. That's going to add 500 to your game bank. Would you like to buy a vowel or would you like another question?
Another question. Oh, can I?
You can solve if you would like.
No, can I buy a vowel?
Sure, you can buy a vowel.
No way.
A.
There are 2 A's in this puzzle, Joey. That's going to subtract 200 from your total there. Would you like another question?
Question, yeah.
Okay, my question for you is, who had more PPR fantasy points during the 2021 regular season? Was it Tyler Higbee or was it Mike Gesicki?
Oh.
Gesicki.
Gesicki's correct with 165 to Tyler Higbee's 147. That one was a little close, but you got it, Joey. Which letter would you like?
R.
There are 3 R's, Joey. That's going to add 1,500 to your round bank. Would you like to buy a vowel? Would you like another question, or would you like to solve? And this is your last opportunity.
I'll buy an E.
An E for Joey. There are 3 E's, Joey. Would you like to buy another vowel? Would you like a question, or would you like to solve?
Question. Okay.
Okay, Joey. Another question. My question for you is, who, according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, who is more likely to be an anytime touchdown scorer during the Rams San Francisco 49ers game? Who's more likely to be an anytime touchdown scorer? Is it Cam Akers or is it Deebo Samuel?
Deebo Samuel.
Deebo Samuel is correct, Joey. Which letter would you like?
A P.
P. There are 2 P's, Joey. That is going to add 1,000 to your total. You've got 5 seconds to try to solve, and then we're moving on to J-Wall, but you'll bank this money.
I mean, PPR, Superflex, waiver, and Fab.
Okay. Joey, just in the nick of time. Yes! You got it. Nice job, Joey. That was impressive.
The double A's were throwing me off. Oh, my God.
I didn't know that the waiver one.
I was trying to get the waiver one, too.
I thought about giving you guys like a clue that there may be abbreviations in there, but then that would have given the puzzle away right away at the beginning. I was like, you guys can figure it out.
When Joey said waiver, and I was like, he's not going to get Fab. I was like, he literally just gave me the puzzle.
I almost didn't say anything because I was like, well, everything's obvious that's up there except for waiver.
I had everything but waiver. So
yeah.
Also coming here now, Beach 89 says, I'm doing 200 push-ups tonight. Wow. All at once.
Impressive.
That's impressive.
In a row.
I'm going to eat 200 push pops tonight as my workout. JR in here saying Superflex, PPR, Fab. That was a couple minutes ago. So we got 3 of them.
Yeah.
Pretty good right there.
Fabulous.
And Mr. Scamper said Fab, obviously. Yeah. Thank you. We are Fab.
That was the one I struggled with. Oh, so funny.
Mr. Scamper said Joey. And Sully said, nice pull, Joey. And JR said Joey wins. Not yet. It's still anybody's game.
Actually, JR wins. He beat me every time I played him in the fantasy, the FYF listener league this year.
At both times he knocked you out?
I believe we played 3 times. He beat me in the playoffs too. He destroyed me.
And Scott said, I'm doing 0 push-ups tonight. Me too.
Good job, Scott.
I'm not doing any push-ups tonight either. Guys, are you ready for our next puzzle?
Let's do it.
Go ahead and pull that bad boy up. Puzzle number 5. This is another NFL player movie mashup that we have here. And Joey solved that one, which means J-Wall, we are going to start with you. Would you like a question or would you like to solve?
Give me a question that I can miss.
You sound like me earlier in the week. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, J-Wall, who is projected to throw the ball more times during the Rams 49ers game? So who's projected to have more pass attempts during the Rams 49ers game? Matthew Stafford or Jimmy Garoppolo?
It's got to be Stafford.
Stafford is correct. The over-under line is set at 34.5 and Garoppolo set at 35. Which letter would you like, J-Wall?
I'll take an S.
There is one S, J-Wall. You're not going to get skunked. You're going to add 500 to your round bank. Would you like another question or would you like to buy a vowel?
Just give me another question.
Okay, my question for you is which team had more rushing yards in 2021? Which team had more rushing yards? Was it the Patriots or the Broncos?
Ooh. Broncos.
I'm sorry, J-Wall. It was the Patriots with more rushing yards this season. So we're going to move on to JL.
I always go with the one I don't think is right.
JL, would you like to solve?
I need a question.
Okay. Who had more rushing touchdowns this season? Who had more rushing touchdowns? The Bengals or Jonathan Taylor?
The Bengals.
I'm sorry. It was Jonathan Taylor with 18 to the Bengals 16 on that one. So we're moving on to Joey. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it that close on that one. Joey, are you ready for your question?
Yeah, I think I got the yeah, go ahead.
Or do you want to solve?
No. I want a question.
Okay, my question for you is who had more PPR fantasy points in the 2021 season? Who had more PPR fantasy points? Was it Marvin Jones or was it Christian Kirk?
Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk is correct with 207 to Marvin Jones 180.2. Joey, which letter would you like on this puzzle?
A C.
There is no C in this puzzle, Joey, which means we are moving back to J-Wall. J-Wall, do you want to solve? Do you want to buy a vowel or would you like a question?
If this was NFL player and actor mashup, it would be Matt Ryan Reynolds, but it's not. So let's just move on.
Well, I'm not going to count that against you, but I'm going to steal that puzzle for another time. Would you like a question, J-Wall, or do you want to buy a vowel?
Just give me a question.
Okay, J-Wall, my question for you is who had more rushing touchdowns in 2021 in the regular season? Who had more rushing touchdowns? Was it Austin Eckler or was it Leonard Fournette?
Leonard Fournette.
I'm sorry. It was Austin Eckler with 12 to Leonard Fournette's 8. J-Wall, you're playing head games with yourself right now.
I don't want to look at the chat. I don't want to look at the chat.
JL, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, JL, my question for you is who had more PPR fantasy points on the season in 2021? Who had more PPR fantasy points? Was it Dawson Knox or was it Darren Waller?
Knox.
Knox is correct with 164 to Waller's 133.5. Which letter would you like?
I'll take an R.
Bonk. There's no R in this puzzle, JL. Joey, are you ready for your question?
Yeah.
Okay, Joey, my question for you is who has more rushing yards in the postseason? Who has more rushing yards so far in the postseason? Is it Elijah Mitchell or is it Devin Singletary?
Devin Singletary.
I'm sorry. Elijah Mitchell has
Is it really?
149 rushing yards in the postseason to Devin Singletary's 107. J-Wall, are you ready for your turn?
Yeah.
Do you want a question or do you want to buy a vowel?
Question. I can't even get those right. So,
okay, my question for you is who has more receiving yards so far in the 2021 postseason? So in the NFL playoffs, who has more receiving yards? Is it Cooper Kupp or is it Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill.
I'm sorry, J-Wall. It is Cooper Kupp with 244 to Tyreek Hill's 207. J-Wall's going to quit. He's never going to come back. JL, are you ready for your question?
I guess.
Okay, we're going to go. We're going to stay in the playoffs right here. Who has more passing yards so far in the playoffs? Who has more passing yards? Is it Patrick Mahomes or is it Tom Brady?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is correct. He's leading in the postseason passing yards. Which letter would you like, JL?
I'll take a T.
A T. No T in this puzzle.
Good
JL.
puzzle so far.
God.
Yeah, this one's brutal. Joey, are you ready for your question?
Yeah. Question.
Yeah, you're ready for it? Okay, my question for you is according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, who is projected to have more receiving yards in the 49ers-Rams game? Is it Tyler Higbee or is it Brandon Ayuk?
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk is correct. 49.5. Tyler Higbee's projected at 39.5. Which letter would you like, Joey?
I'd like a D.
A D? As in dog?
Yeah, D as in dog.
Bonk. There's no D in this puzzle either. J-Wall, you're the only one to put a letter on the board so far in this puzzle.
This is ridiculous.
Jamie.
Yes,
Mr. Scamper said Simon's going to run out of questions. And FanDuel said tough. Man, this was not the one that I thought was going to be tough. I really thought Rugrats in Paris was going to throw you guys off.
Letters.
Yeah.
Okay. My question for you, J-Wall, is who has more all-time passing yards? So this is an all-time passing yards question. Is it Brett Favre or is it Phillip Rivers?
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is correct with over 71,000 to Phillip Rivers around 63,000. J-Wall, which letter would you like?
Let's go with an N as in Nancy.
Bonk. There are no N's in this puzzle.
Is this all like one letter, this puzzle?
I said M as in Mancy.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, you'll have to guess it on your next turn. JL, are you ready? I feel good about this one right here. I feel like there's going to be some letters on the board right now. My question for you is who had more PPR fantasy points in 2021 in the regular season? Was it DK Metcalf or was it Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I'm sorry, it was DK Metcalf had more fantasy points. Amon-Ra came on at the end, but not enough to pass DK. Joey, are you ready for your question?
I love this puzzle because I can just run out the clock. I'll take a question, please.
Okay, we're going to stay with PPR fantasy points. Who had more PPR fantasy points in the 2021 regular season? Was it Dalvin Cook or was it James Robinson?
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook is correct with a little over 30 more fantasy points on the season. Joey, which letter would you like to try to put on the board?
M as in Mancy.
M as in Mancy. There are two M's in this puzzle, Joey. That's going to add 1,000 to your total. Would you like to buy a vowel or would you like another question?
I would like a question.
Okay. And guys, just so you know, no one in the chat has gotten this either. There's no one in the chat who has gotten
surprising
this
considering when there are no letters on the board.
I'm just letting you guys know.
I know part. This is killing me.
Okay, my question for you is who has more receiving yards in the postseason so far? So who has more receiving yards? Is it Jerick McKinnon or is it T. Higgins?
T. Higgins.
I'm sorry, it is Jerick McKinnon. Jerick McKinnon has 135 receiving yards in the postseason. J-Wall, you look excited down there. Do you want to solve?
Okay. So I was like, the only reason I'm ever going to know these is if it's a kid's movie, because that's like all I watch. Is this like Mike Williams?
It is like Mike Williams. J-Wall, you got it. Nice job on that puzzle. That one took a minute, but J-Wall's going to get it. You're going to bank $1,000 for that puzzle, bringing you up to 2,000. You're sneaking up.
Coincidentally, the chat got it right before J-Wall.
JR got it with like
I've never been more excited to be in last place.
Very suspicious.
And Albert came in with a guess, Magic Mike Williams.
Nice.
I actually had Magic Mike Williams first and then changed it to like Mike Williams because I've seen like Mike and I haven't seen Magic Mike.
You should see Magic Mike. It's good.
Is it a good movie?
It actually is really good. Steven Soderbergh directed it. So
okay. We're going to do an FYF
I know
Magic
what it's
Mike
about.
viewing
Listen,
party.
but it's good.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first Channing Tatum movie I really enjoyed. Guys, we are going to move on to our next puzzle
before we do. Yeah, Jay said looking like Dabble to the Giants. Is that how you say it? Dabble?
Like Dabo? Like
no, Brian
Dabble?
Dable, isn't it? I don't know.
Is it Dable? I don't know.
Brian
and then
Dable.
FanDuel said Giants hiring Brian Dable. Fantasy outlook for Danny Dimes going up.
Yeah, I think it's a good hire for them. It makes sense. I know Giants fans are probably fairly happy about that hire as well, compared to some of the names that we'd seen floated out there. But we'll see if I know there's rumors about Daniel Jones not being on the team next year, right? But you have to think with Dabble coming over that this offense is going to improve at least a little bit. And if Daniel Jones is part of this offense, that would be an up arrow for him. Dable.
Maybe.
I don't think they'll run as many QB sneaks next year. I think that
maybe
fewer QB sneaks for Daniel Jones on this one. Guys, before we move on from this puzzle, I did want to ask. So, Joey, we'll start with you. Mike Williams started out the season super hot. He was like the wide receiver 2 through the first 5 weeks of this season, and then did not finish nearly as strong. What are your expectations for Mike Williams going into next season? Is it more of what we saw in the first quarter of the season or the back 3 quarters?
So I actually do like him next year. I think anybody that's catching balls from Justin Herbert is going to put up stats next year. I really do. And if he stays with the Chargers, I believe he has one more year there before it will cost the Chargers a lot to get him out of the contract. So I would definitely be fine with drafting Mike Williams, maybe like 5th, 6th round.
JL, what about you on this one?
Yeah, I like Mike Williams. I think we've talked about him in previous streams that if he goes to another team, it's hard for me to imagine him being in a better situation. I really hope that they're able to sign him to a long-term contract during the offseason. That's my hope. If they're able to do that, in my opinion, his fantasy value is going to skyrocket, or not skyrocket. It's going to go up. I think people are still going to be concerned because just the consistency hasn't been there. And hopefully they start using him, like they were using him in the beginning of the season. It was working for them. And then it seemed like he probably got injured and he was playing through injury and they just started targeting him less. So hopefully the offseason gives him time to recover and they go back to the strategy that was working.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jail. If they used him like they did in the first half of the season, that Chargers team looked better as well whenever they were using him like that. It wasn't just he was better for fantasy. That Chargers offense looked like one of the best in the NFL through the first 5 weeks of that season. But I hope they do that. But the other point you brought up, Mike Williams plays like a madman. So while some players, I know we say don't predict injuries, Mike Williams is I don't want to say reckless on the field, but I mean that as like a compliment. Like he will sacrifice his body for the ball. He will climb that ladder, get up high, land on his back. So that effort sometimes translates to injury, like we've seen with players like George Kittle as well, that play similarly violent. Is that the word, reckless? I don't know what a good word would be for how these guys play, but it's fun to watch, but it can definitely be detrimental to their physical health on the field. Come here now, Beach 89 says it's a great hire for Josh Allen. Brian Dable is insane not letting Josh throw in the first half. Yeah, I know you were mad about that right after the game happened, saying let Josh Allen throw, but yeah, but that Bills offense was working pretty good. So we'll see what the Bills are able to conjure together at offensive coordinator. You guys ready for our next puzzle?
Let's go.
Yep.
And J-Wall got that one right, which means JL, we are starting with you. This is same team, first names. So these are 3 first names on the same NFL team.
Okay.
Would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I need a question.
You need a question. Okay, JL, my question for you is who had more rushing touchdowns on the season? Who had more rushing touchdowns? Was it the Ravens or was it the Packers?
The Ravens.
The Ravens are correct with 18 to the Packers 13. What letter would you like, JL?
I'll take a T.
A T. There are 2 T's, JL, in this puzzle. That's going to add $1,000 to your bank. What would you like to do here? Do you want to buy a vowel or would you like another question?
I'll buy a vowel. I'll buy an A.
An A for JL. There are 3 A's in this puzzle. That's going to subtract 300 from your total. Would you like to buy another vowel? Would you like a question or would you like to solve?
Would you do this? I'll buy a vowel. Oh God, this could screw me. I'll buy an E.
There's 1 E, and that is the last vowel in this puzzle, JL.
I'll solve.
Okay.
Matt, Tajay, Kyle.
Matt, Tajay, Kyle is correct. All Falcons
Dirty
players. Boy. What do you mean I'm a dirty boy?
Using Tajay.
Come on.
I wanted to. I was looking for one that would make it a nice little U. I wanted it to look pretty. That was the entire philosophy behind creating this puzzle right there. And Jay said, Simon, that's nice. That's nice of you to give them the letter U. Yeah, I try to be a little bit nice right there.
Yep, no U in there.
And Jay letting us know I'm very happy with the hire. He's happy with the Dable hire over there. We had a bunch of people in the chat getting this one quickly. I thought this was going to give you guys trouble, but I think Jay getting that T early really unlocked the puzzle. Albert, Matt, Kyle, Tajay, Scott, Matt, Tajay, Kyle, JR, Matt, Kyle, Tajay, and Mr. Scampers, Tajay, Matt, Kyle, all coming in around the same time from those guys, all at 5:43. 5:43 best time, 6:43 worst time. I'm not sure whether you guys live in best time or worst time over there.
I'm not taking that bait.
You're not taking that bait. You're not going to play that game with me.
Nope.
Okay, JL, that's going to add $1,000 to your total for the game, bringing you up to $4,300. JWell, I wanted to come to you with a question here about Kyle Pitts. So we saw Kyle Pitts get drafted very high for a rookie tight end this year. The hype was out of the world, and a lot of people were left fairly disappointed with his season, even though you look at rookie tight ends, it's one of the best rookie tight end seasons ever. Still, like this was a very successful rookie tight end season. How are you viewing Kyle Pitts going into next year? Is it still as one of those like top 4, top 5 guys for redraft, or is he a little bit lower just for 2022?
No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the fact that he only had 1 touchdown catch, I know everyone always talks about it, but if he got even like 4 or 5 touchdown catches, I'm pretty sure he would be up there. I think around 4 or 5, if I remember correctly. So it really just all was about the touchdowns, and there's no chance that they can't feed him, around the red zone next year. But Matt Ryan typically finds a way, but I'd like to not think so.
Joey, what about you? Do you agree with J-Wall on Kyle Pitts' outlook for 2022?
Yeah, I love Kyle Pitts next year. I mean, J-Wall hit the big fact is that he only had 1 touchdown. Other than that, I mean, he had I believe it was over 20% target share. Like, I mean, he's over 10 yards a completion, like a reception. Sorry. Yeah. Like I love Kyle Pitts next year.
Yeah. I'm with you guys. JL, do you agree with these two about Kyle Pitts?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Full agreement on Kyle Pitts right there. Okay, guys, are you ready for our next puzzle?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's load this one up. Puzzle number 7. This is an NFL player band mashup. So this is a band and NFL player mashup in this puzzle. And who solved the last one? JL did. So that means Joey's going first. Joey, are you ready for your question?
Yep. Give me a question, please.
Okay, Joey, who had more PPR fantasy points in the 2021 regular season? Who had more PPR fantasy points? Was it Van Jefferson or was it Terry McLaurin?
Terry McLaurin.
It was Terry McLaurin there. I couldn't trick you, Joey. Which letter would you like?
I love Van Jefferson too. I want a T.
A T for Joey. There is one T in this puzzle, Joey. That's going to put 500. Would you like to buy a vowel? Would you like to solve? Or would you like another question?
I want to buy a vowel. I want an O.
An O. There are 3 O's in this puzzle, Joey. That's going to subtract 300 from your total. What would you like to do now?
I want a question.
A question. Okay, Joey, my question for you is who has more all-time rushing yards? Who has more all-time rushing yards? Is it Frank Gore or is it LaDainian Tomlinson?
LaDainian Tomlinson?
I am sorry. The answer is Frank Gore with 16,000 rushing yards to LaDainian Tomlinson's 13,684.
Really?
The Colonel. He was just in the league for so long. They just kept on racking up. So we are moving on to J-Wall. J-Wall, are you ready for your question or would you like to solve?
I'm ready for a question.
Okay, J-Wall, my question for you is in a 4-point per passing touchdown league, who had more PPR fantasy points in the 2021 regular season? Was it Russell Wilson or was it Ryan Tannehill?
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill is correct, J-Wall. Which letter would you like?
Give me an H.
An H. Bonk. There are no H's in this puzzle, J-Wall. So, J-L, that means we are moving on to you.
I need a question.
You need a question. Okay, my question for you is who is projected to have more rushing yards in the San Francisco 49ers Los Angeles Rams game? Who is projected to have more rushing yards? Is it Deebo Samuel or is it Elijah Mitchell?
Elijah Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell is correct. I thought maybe I'd trip you up on that one, but you got it, JL. Which letter would you like?
I will take. I guess I will take a. I'll take an N.
An N. There is one N in this puzzle, JL. Gonna add 500 to your total. Would you like to buy a vowel or would you like another question?
I would like to buy a vowel. I'll buy an E.
An E. There are 3 E's in this puzzle, JL. Going to take you down to $200. Would you like to solve? Would you like to buy another vowel or would you like a question?
Can I buy?
I got it.
I got it. Fleetwood Mac Jones.
The answer is Fleetwood Mac Jones. Nice job, JL. And JR, a couple minutes ago, about 3 minutes ago in here with Fleetwood Mac Jones.
Well
there were
done,
not
JR.
many letters on the board at all whenever he threw that one in there. Nice job, JR. And I think they're the only person in the chat that got it. And Scott has a question. Is PPR QB points a thing? Ask Marcus Mariota. Remember when he caught his own pass for a touchdown?
That's true.
I bet he got a point there.
I really thought I was going to win this by a landslide, but I guess that was just in my dreams. Okay, there we go. 2 Fleetwood Mac songs. Let's go.
Oh, that was incredible. It took me a second to see what you were doing there, but then like once you said landslide, I was sitting there waiting to see what you said next. Also, they're correcting me in the chat. I missed it. Scott said JR got it with no letters.
Damn.
Whoa.
No letters for JR. I
Well
undersold what Mr. JR did over there. Nice job.
JR's a legend in the chat.
Yes.
He carries the chat. His back probably hurts really bad.
Absolutely, it hurts really bad. Guys, we've got time for at least one more puzzle, unless we pull another like Mike Williams here, at which point we will not have time for another puzzle. But I'm going to go ahead and load up the next one. This is a coach quote. So this is a quote from a coach. And JL got that one, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That means we are going on to Joey for this one. Joey, would you like to solve or would you like a question?
I would like a question.
Okay, Joey, my question for you is who has more receiving yards in the 2021 regular season? Who had more receiving yards? Was it Michael Pittman Jr. or was it Tyler Lockett?
Ooh, this is good. Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett is correct by about 100 receiving yards. Joey.
Really?
Nice job. Which letter would you like?
I would like a T.
T. There are 2 T's in this puzzle, Joey. That is going to add $500 to your or $1,000 to your total. Like another question, or would you like to buy a vowel?
What did Urban Meyer whisper to that girl at the bar? I want to buy an I.
An I for Joey. There are 3 I's in this puzzle. Going to subtract 300 from your total. Would you like to buy another vowel, or would you like a question, or do you want to solve?
I know the second word.
Give me another question.
Another question for Joey. My question for you, Joey, is in a PPR league, who had more fantasy points on the season? Who had more fantasy points on the season? Was it Derrick Henry or was it DeAndre Swift?
Derrick Henry.
I'm sorry. It was DeAndre Swift
by how
about,
much?
It was 208.9 to Derrick Henry's 193.3. That one was pretty close.
I feel like they missed. I know Henry missed time, but I thought Swift.
It was close. Henry still almost one more game, and he probably would have been ahead of him there, or at least would have been a lot closer. Jay, well, that means we're moving on to you. Would you like a question here, or do you want to solve?
Give me a question.
Okay, Jay, well, my question for you is, according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, who is projected to have more rushing yards during the Kansas City Chiefs Cincinnati Bengals game? Is it Patrick Mahomes or is it Clyde Edwards-Delaire?
It's a dirty question. It's got to be CEH.
It is, but it's close. Only 9 yards. Patrick Mahomes is projected at 28.5 rushing yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 37.5. Nice job, Jay. Well, I thought I might get you with the trick there, but you saw straight through it. Which letter would you like?
Can I get an H?
An H. There are 2 H's, Jay. Well, I'm going to add $1,000 to your round bank. Would you like another question, or would you like to buy a vowel?
Let's do another question.
Okay, Jay. Well, my question for you is, which team had more rushing yards on the season in 2021? Which team had more rushing yards? Was it the Seahawks or was it the Lions?
The Lions.
I'm sorry, it was the Seahawks with 2,074 to the Lions 1,886. So, JL, we are moving on to you. Would you like to solve, or would you like a question?
I need a question.
You need a question. Okay. My question for you is, in the Cincinnati Bengals Kansas City Chiefs game, according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, who is projected to have more receiving yards? Is it Tyreek Hill or is it Jamar Chase?
Receiving yards. Tyreek Hill.
I'm sorry. It is Jamar Chase with 85.5 as the projection. Tyreek Hill set at 76.5 according to the FanDuel Sportsbook. Almost 10 yards separating them right there. Joey, would you like a question, or would you like to solve? Or you can buy a vowel.
Give me a E.
An E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to bring you all the way down to $200, Joey. Would you like a question, or would you like to solve?
Question.
Okay, according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, who is projected to have more receiving yards in the Cincinnati Bengals Kansas City Chiefs game? We're going to stay on this game for a second. Is it CJ Uzomah or is it Joe Mixon?
Joe Mixon.
It's CJ Uzomah. I'm so sorry, Joey. Uzomah is projected to have more receiving yards. I think I agree with you, Joey. I like the Joe Mixon line there. J-Wall, are you ready for your question? Or would you like to solve or buy a vowel?
Give me a question.
Question for J-Wall. Okay, J-Wall, my question for you is, during the 2021 regular season, who had more PPR fantasy points? Who had more PPR fantasy points? Was it Darnell Mooney or was it Tyler Boyd?
Mooney.
Mooney is correct, J-Wall. Which letter would you like?
Give me a B.
B as in
brother.
Brother? Okay,
yeah.
Just making sure I had the right letter. There is 1 B in this puzzle, J-Wall. Going to add 500 to your total. Would you like another question? Would you like to buy a vowel, or would you like to solve?
Let's do another question.
Another question. Okay, my question for you, J-Wall, is who has more passing yards in the 2021 postseason? Who has more passing yards in the 2021 postseason? Is it Josh Allen or is it Matthew Stafford?
Matthew Stafford.
I'm sorry, it is Josh Allen. That big game against the Chiefs prepared my head. Stafford had some good games. Yeah, I'm getting in your head, JL. We're going to move on to JL now, though. JL, would you like a question? Yeah, you need a question. Okay, JL, my question for you is, who has more receiving yards so far in the postseason? Who has more receiving yards in the postseason? Is it Mike Evans or is it A.J. Brown?
Mike Evans or A.J. Brown's? A.J. Brown did have that big game. I'll go. Would you? You would do it. Oh, are you tricking me or not, Simon? I'll go Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is correct. He's got the extra game played that pushes him ahead. But A.J. Brown had 142 receiving yards in the one game that he played. And I thought maybe that big performance might have been enough to get you to pick him anyways.
I almost did. If it wasn't you conducting the game, then I probably would have. I'll take an R.
Which letter would you like? An R?
Yeah.
There are 4 R's in this puzzle, JL. Going to add 2,000 to your total. Are you solving?
Oh.
Yeah. When it's grim, be the Grim Reaper.
That's the song that plays in my ears whenever you get it right. Nice job, JL. This is what Andy Reid said, that his words to Patrick Mahomes were right after Josh Allen scored. They asked him, it was looking grim. What did you say to him? And Andy Reid, with one of the most badass coach quotes of all time, saying, when it's grim, be the Grim Reaper. And Patrick Mahomes did.
7 minutes ago.
There was no letters on the board. This was a 0 letters on the board. Scott came in with this poll right here. And guys, you know what that means? For the first time ever in fantasy fortune history, we have a tie game at the end of the show.
I think JL won because doesn't he get points for solving?
Nope. He had, it's a minimum of 1,000, but then you get your bank above that.
Can we do a speed round?
We could do a speed round real quick. We could do a speed round, or do you guys just want to call it a tie?
Doesn't matter to me.
I have one more puzzle, and you know what? It is a quick one.
Simon, is it a quick one?
It is a quick one. It is a quick one.
But I'm giving Joey the advantage because he gets to go first.
It's an NFL player. Joey, you get to go first.
I will let you go first, JL.
No. I don't want no special treatment.
Joey, would you like a question?
Question, yeah.
Okay, my question for you is, who had more PPR fantasy points during the 2021 NFL season? Was it Brandon Cooks or was it T. Higgins?
T. Higgins.
It was Brandon Cooks. I'm so sorry. J-Wall. Oh, wait. It's J-Wall. Would you like a question?
Between JL.
Okay, JL.
Because if I win, then we have to keep going. You know?
I have a name that fits.
Okay, JL, would you like a question or do you want to go for it?
I'm just going to go for it. Cole Beasley.
I'm sorry, it is not Cole Beasley, JL, which means we're going to move on to Joey. Joey, would you like another question, or would you like to do a JL and say the wrong name?
I would like to just play this game the way that
You're implying I'm not playing?
No, you're playing. You're playing great, buddy.
Joey, my question for you is, who has more rushing yards in the NFL postseason so far? Who has more rushing yards? Is it Cam Akers or is it Patrick Mahomes?
Ew.
Patrick Mahomes.
I am going to retract that question. They're separated by 5 yards. As soon as I said that, I thought it was 50, but I was looking at the wrong number. I'm not going to do that to you, Joey. I read the numbers wrong on that one. So we're going to give you a new question. I tried to stop you before you said anything. You guys heard me. Okay. Which player had more PPR fantasy points during the 2021 season, Joey? Which player had more PPR fantasy points? Was it Myles Gaskin or was it Sony Michel?
every other week as much as Sony Michel. I'm gonna go Myles Gaskin.
Myles Gaskin is correct with 173 to Sony Michel's 146. What letter would you like, Joey?
I would like a T.
A T for Joey and bonk. I'm sorry, JL.
Oh my God.
You ready, JL?
Yeah.
Okay, JL. Who had more PPR fantasy points in the 2021 regular season? Who had more PPR fantasy points? Was it Kyle Pitts or was it Hunter Henry?
Hunter Henry.
I'm sorry, it was Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts outscored Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry made all his money on touchdowns so far this season, but Kyle Pitts had that yardage, I think, on him. Joey, are you ready for your question?
Yeah, question, please.
Okay, Joey, my question for you is in the 2021 regular season, who had more receiving yards? Who had more receiving yards? Was it Hunter Renfrow or was it Devonta Smith?
Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow is correct by a little more than 100 yards. Which letter would you like, Joey?
S.
There's one S in this puzzle that is going to put 500 on your round bank. Okay, well, any predictions on who's going to pull this one out? Oh, he's muted.
You're muted.
That's a secret prediction. Joey, would you like another question?
I would like to buy an O.
An O for Joey. There are 2 O's in this puzzle that's going to bring you down to 300. Would you like to solve? Would you like to buy another vowel, or would you like another question?
I'd like another question.
Okay, Joey, my question for you is who had more rushing yards during the 2021 regular season? Who had more rushing yards? Was it Jalen Hurts or was it Damian Harris?
Damian Harris.
Damian Harris is correct. Jalen Hurts led all quarterbacks with rushing yards, but Damian Harris had him beat out. Which letter would you like?
An R.
Bonk. There are no R's in this name. JL, can you solve or would you like a question?
I cannot solve. I need a question.
Okay, my question for you, JL, is who had more PPR fantasy points during the 2021 regular season? Was it Josh Jacobs or was it David Montgomery?
Jacobs.
Jacobs is the correct answer, JL. Which letter would you like?
I will take an N.
There are 2 N's in this puzzle, JL. Going to add $1,000 to your round.
I would like to solve.
Okay. And what is it?
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins for the win from JL.
I'm sorry, Joey. You
No,
were
it's okay.
a formidable opponent.
We are both winners today.
We are.
You guys both did win. And J-Wall, you know what? You started out slow, but you solved a couple puzzles in there, got on the board, and did not end in a humiliating fashion. Nice job, J-Wall, as well.
Didn't pull a Simon, so we're good.
You did not pull a Simon. That's 100% right. Maria said Geno So Smiths. Yeah, that
very
was
close. I think
that's actually the next puzzle.
Yeah, there you go. We do hang out way too much.
I know. We've made the same joke like 3 times on this show right here. And JR, man, JR, you absolutely murdered these puzzles in the chat. I know, for Fantasy Fortune specifically, because he gets in there
and ball perception is good at.
You know, yeah, what's he not good at in the chat? And Geek Hippie in here saying W to JR. And William saying nice game. Thanks for tuning in, William. Glad you guys enjoyed it.
Really?
Guys, that is going to be about us for this evening. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Joey and J-Wall, thank you so much for coming on and playing our game with us this afternoon.
Anytime.
This was an absolute blast. Guys, that is going to be it's the best place to be. There's only places to go up, J-Wall. Guys, before we jump off, another reminder, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button on this video and make sure you're subscribed to FanDuel on YouTube. And then if you're not sick of us, or you want to play some more games like this every day, Monday through Friday, we are playing games on our YouTube channel at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you guys are subscribed to Front Yard Fantasy on YouTube. And you can follow us on Twitch if you prefer on Twitch as well. But we're live every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So come hang out with us over there and play some games.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else? Anything else you guys wanted to say before we jumped off?
Trading makes fantasy fun.
There you go.
You got it. Guys, that's going to be it for us this evening. Adios, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.